Hi, I'm going to talk about radiation and chemo today a little bit. And this one could definitely have a few parts to this one part because in my situation, I was fighting for my life and I chose to do radiation and chemo both after surgery. So that kind of makes it a triple whammy for anyone that's had to deal with all three of those things. And in the beginning, I was told you're probably not going to have any pain until maybe the third or fourth week in. Well, here's what happened. With radiation, they have to do what they call mapping, and they pinpoint where they're going to be putting the radiation. And in a head and neck cancer, here's what they do. They create this mask, and it looks like this. It goes over you. It is first just a plain piece of white mesh that they've kind of put into a microwave type thing and makes it hot, puts it on you, and then it kind of shrink wraps to your head, neck, shoulders, that kind of thing. And then they have the clamps. So everywhere you see these clamp areas, they clamp it down. And so when you're in the radiation, you can't move. And so that's what I had to wear every time in radiation. And mine was 35 times for radiation. And the first day, when they put that on and clamped it down everywhere, I ended up having TMJ so bad. And my TMJ for years has pushed from this side to this side. We think the tumor was growing in there and causing the TMJ. Well, right off the bat, the first day, I was in extreme, excruciating pain. And I went into the next day for the second day of radiation. And when they put the clamp on, I told them how much pain I was in, and they undid the clamps that go right here to make it just a little bit looser. And even with that, I was still in so much pain with the TMJ. That's the same day that I went in for my first chemo. And when I went in for chemo right after the radiation ended, the pain was off the charts. And so what they did is they gave me some morphine to try to help with the pain, started the chemo, and I ended up having two different kinds of chemo. It was the carboplatin, I think I may say that wrong, and Taxol. And one of those I had a reaction to. I was told the chemo might take just a few hours, maybe a couple hours, and we were in there for 8 hours for chemo. The reaction I had, I was talking to my daughter. She was in Arizona, I had her on the phone, and all of a sudden I felt my throat closing up. And Jack said I turned bright red. And I said, I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong. And so I handed the phone to Brian. He and Jack both were there. And apparently everything just was fast paced. They called the doctor in fast, shut everything off, and got me settled down so they could start everything in slower. And so I was one of those that couldn't take the normal, put it in as quick as you can type situation. Mine had to go in slower. So it took such a long time that day on my first day of chemo. So right off the bat, I'm dealing with pain. And the pain that I had from the TMJ, long story short, lasted about 9 days. And then it righted itself. Tried everything, but I still would go in with so much pain. And that was the beginning of my treatments. And every day for all those 8 weeks that I had treatments, I had some pain, one kind or another. It went from this pain to this pain to this pain. So I dealt with a lot of pain. And the chemo itself was not easy. It was, even though it might have been once a week, it was still a drain on your body. And then there were times that my system was so low that the white blood cells were really bad, and they had to wait a week. They had to take me off of both treatments for a week and let my body get back into a little bit stronger. I had iron infusions when I needed those. And so radiation and chemo were not fun for me. I know they're not fun for anyone, but I didn't go 3 weeks without pain. It started off at the very beginning. The chemo, I was told, would sensitize, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, the tumor so that radiation could be more effective. And so that's why I chose to do both of them. I wanted every bit of ammunition to zap that tumor. Even though mine was mainly in the parotid gland, there were also some lymph nodes that had issues, and there was something about the blood channel, but the cyst in the lymph nodes got zapped at the same time that the tumor got zapped. So that's just a short version of my radiation and chemo journey. That is a very limited version, but no matter what, just know that you're in there fighting, you're doing what you have to do, and whatever decision you make is what you decide, and you run with it and give it your all. And sometimes it works to where that cancer is not active later, which is where mine is right now. And I just am praying for all of you dealing with radiation and chemo. Even if you're dealing with one of these or both of these, it's not a fun journey. It is a beast, and I don't wish it on anyone. But I'm praying for each one of you and encouraging you. I want my videos to be an encouragement to you and an inspiration to keep fighting, keep going every day, no matter what the pain is, no matter what emotions you go through, keep going, because there is going to come a time that it gets better, it gets easier. I still deal with a lot of different pains every day, but they're nowhere near like they were in those times of treatments. And so I'm just grateful. And I just want to again encourage you to keep fighting. I'm here. I'll keep putting out more videos about my journey, and hopefully, in each one, there's some inspirational message that helps you along your way. Thank you, and I'll see you again on the next one.